Well, good morning and happy Veterans Day. Well, I am going to make some tea and go outside and enjoy it for a little bit before I get started working. I've got a very busy work day around here. I've neglected some things. I have not paid attention to everything that I need to because I've been pulled in a different direction. But that's okay because we can make up for it today. I can just get on the ball and start working and get most of what I have to get done today done. But first of all, I'm going to start with a relaxing tea. I've got, this is a cherry flavored tea. I'm going to go ahead and put that in because I'm making a passion flower tea mixed with mullein today. So that's the tea I'm going to have. I'm going to have a dark cherry flavored tea that came out of a box because I want it for the flavor. And I'm going to use this passion flower tea and this mullein tea. I'm going to mix it here in my diffuser, and that's going to be my tea this morning. I am going to go outside and sit in the garden for a little bit this morning before I get started with my day's work, because that always gets me in the right mood, and it always just prepares me for the rest of my day. When you use a little tea diffuser like this one, it kind of gives you a guideline of how much tea to use. You know, I just put half and half in here. Let me stuff it in here a little bit better. Into this little tea diffuser, which I just got off Amazon, but you can pick them up at any place that sells teas. Health store, herbal health store usually has these or some form of these. If not with the handle like this, then they might have the little chain on them. But this little diffuser, if you use it, you can use it as a guideline to kind of let you know how much tea to put in. Put that hot water in there and get it going. Go ahead and get these zipped back up to preserve the freshness of these teas. I squeeze out as much air as I can and just zip them up. Try to keep them a lot of air out of them and keep them fresher for longer. Store them back in the tea cabinet. Normally I would take a little honey in my tea, but I am not going to do that today. I'm going to cut out sugar, and or severely cut back on sugar, and I'm not going to put the honey in my tea this morning. Well, we got it ready here. I'm going to go ahead and take this on out and enjoy the fall morning. This is my vinegar. I've still got it going on. I've still got it where I peeled my apples. I've still got the apple peelings in here, and it is smelling good, making apple cider vinegar. I've got to move this out of the way, though, because, you know, I only have this small little area right here, and I can't be taking it up with this big container of vinegar. I'll have to move it somewhere out of the way. But I wanted to stir it and keep an eye on it, and that's why I left it here on the counter for a few days. I have got to take my garbage out here to the trash can. I've got quite a bit of things just adding up here. These are some jars that my friend gave me. She thought I could repurpose those, so I've got to go through those today. These are the angel trumpet starts that I clipped off of the angel trumpets before me and Donald threw the rest of them away. Let me go over here. Put these gardening shoes on. Go ahead and take this trash out. I'm going to try to take the trash out and my tea all at once. And I don't know if I can do that, but we'll see. The tea's looking good. It's diffusing. I've got this pumpkin sitting out here my sister gave me. I have a pumpkin that I bought to cook for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, but she had an extra one, so I brought that one too. And if I have too much, I'll just puree it and put it in the freezer. Oh, it's drizzling rain this morning. So it's going to be a cool, rainy day. Still a beautiful fall day. Still a beautiful, beautiful fall day. Let's see if I can get this in here. There we go. Can't resist looking at the gardens. The fall garden where everything is turned brown and cut back. We still haven't got mulch down, or we might put compost on this garden this year just to feed it some. It's still uncovered, just the debris that was here when Donald cut it down. Well, I'm not going to be able to sit out here because it's raining. Maybe I can sit here on the porch for a few minutes. The porch has got a little bit of a cover over it. I need to soak up some of this fall weather while it's still here. It's going to be winter weather before we know it. Let me turn around. I'll show you the fall view that I have. There's still a little bit of leaves on the trees. Still a little bit of color, but not a whole lot. It's fading away. Everything's turning brown and drying up. But that's what I'm looking at this morning. What little bit of fall foliage is left, I'm going to just enjoy it. And I'm going to drink my cup of tea that I've made here. And just enjoy a few minutes of fall weather. Just absorb whatever is left of it. It was a really warm day yesterday. It was uncommonly warm, actually. It was probably around, I want to say it was like 78 degrees. But today it's a little cooler, and it looks like we're going to have rain today. And it looks like a chilly fall day. Oh, look at this hawk. I hope you can see him. He just went behind the trees. But we have had hawks ever since we've lived here. We've had hawks that live over in this little wooded area across the street right here. And now there's a family of them. Where there used to be maybe 2 hawks, there's a whole family of them. But I hope I caught that. I couldn't really see it. I was so busy looking at the hawk. I was trying to film it, but I hope it's on here. Yeah, but it's a big hawk flying by. Now, we have had these hawks fly down and grab squirrels. And one time I was babysitting my sister's little chihuahua, and I always was careful when I brought him out to use the bathroom because of those hawks. They are always looking for something to prey on. And evidently there's enough squirrels and things to keep them living here because they've been here ever since we've lived here. There's been a family of hawks that have lived over in that little patch of trees right there across the street from us, and we watch them all the time. We also have a bat. We also have bats that live behind our shutters, and we see 2 or 3 of those, and then we always try to take care of them because, they eat a lot of mosquitoes. Those bats eat a lot of pests, so we always are careful to take care of our bats and leave them over there. They never bother us. They come out at night. We rarely see them, but we see them when we are sitting around the little fire ring that we've got out there, that little fire that we've got. We sit out there, and there's the hawks again. Let's see if I can get them. There's the other one. And that's what makes it interesting for me to sit out here in the mornings and the evenings. I get to look at the trees changing. I get to see where the weather's at. I get to enjoy it, the cool air, and I get to see the wildlife, the hawks, and the things that we have here in the city. You know, we're on a city lot, but we do have wildlife. I have a lot of birds. There's a lot of birds right here that come to this little city lot, and a lot of birds nest in these cedar trees over here that and then these over here, these white pines, we have birds that nest in there. So we have a lot of birds nesting in the area. A lot of wildlife, and of course, being from the mountains, I enjoy the wildlife. I love to see it whenever I can. I love to encourage natural wildlife that's good for you. Don't want any mice, don't want any rats, nothing like that. Just the things that you enjoy seeing, and that can, you know, the birds, love the birds here. Let's see if my tea's cooled off enough that I can get a little drink of it here. Now that's really good. I smell the cherry in it. It smells good. It's not sweet. Left out the sugar, left out the honey, left out the stevia, left out all the sweets. Just got the raw teas here. But they're good enough this morning. I've got to cut back on sugar. Here it is, Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up. That'll be the time where I am tempted the most to eat sugars. I've been put on medication that's caused me to gain weight. And I've just got to be really careful about everything that goes in my mouth, which I should have been anyway. But everything is so tempting. It's so delicious. And it seems like everything we celebrate revolves around food. We want to eat all the time. If it's somebody's birthday, we want to go out and eat. If it's a holiday, we want to gather and cook. It's just kind of like tradition. That's kind of what we do. And that's going to be okay for me. I've just got to make better food choices for myself and for my health. And so I'm starting with just cutting out as much sugar as I possibly can. You already know, if you've been around my channel for a while, that I read all the labels. I read labels on everything. I read all the food labels. I read all the information that I can get. So I try to keep myself informed about what is in a product, and I'm just making the decision to just go as natural as I possibly can, to cut out all added sugars, and, you know, just cut out sugar in general. Whether it's added or not, your body doesn't really know. All it knows is that it's got a processed sugar. And so I'm being conscious of that again, and I have been for the last month, but I'm dead serious about it today. I'm really having to cut out all the sugars. Just no good for my body, not doing me any good, so it's got to go. But there'll be plenty of things that I can do in addition to eating a lot of sweets. Now, I will be making my world's best apple cake for the holidays, and I will be making sweets for the holidays, so I might have to have a piece once in a while, maybe once a week, something sweet. But in general, I'm just cutting that completely out of our diet. And that's going to have to be the best decision for me and for my husband at this time. So that's, if you see things that are not sweet, and I'm making all this stuff that doesn't have sweets, then you'll understand we're trying to cut those completely out of our diet. It's something I think we might need for our enjoyment, but it's not something we need for health. Your body can make its own glucose, and you don't have to add anything like that to it. So that's what I'm going to be careful to do, is just try to take as good a care of myself as I possibly can. As I sit out here in this fall weather, I'm reflecting on all of that today, because this will be when I'll be making the menus that I'm going to prepare. In order to feed a family and make dinner, I have to start thinking about that either the day before, the night before, or early in the morning, because I'll have to lay out some kind of meat and, you know, prepare what I'm going to make for dinner. Lunch, I can usually have leftovers or throw together a lunch a lot quicker than I can a dinner. So I am in here, out here, thinking about what it is I'm going to make for dinner tonight. And I do have all these apples, so a fresh apple cake would be delicious, wouldn't it? I will have to make one of those soon. It's just the time of the year to do it. Angelina's looking at me. She's like, "What you doing?" Well, I'm going to go ahead and go in. I've got a lot to get started. And just as I come in, there's a lot of leaves that just started falling. It looked beautiful. There's a wind blowing out there. You can see a gentle breeze, and it's just blowing the leaves off the trees. I've got my garden bag here. I'm going to have to put that up. I've got a little storage area for it down there in the basement. I'm going to have to put that up because I won't be using that. I won't be using my garden tote for very many things right now at this time of the year. I've got 1,000 things to do. I've got blankets to fold. I've got to put these crayons in the box for the kids. And I've got to refill a lot of things. Just to keep things going. So everybody has what they need when they need to find it. And we'll go out on the porch. Make sure the apples I've got stored out there are not getting wet. My arm is not hurting as much anymore. What I'm trying to do lately is just move it more and try to get my strength back in it so that I can do the things that I need to do. Got the crayons replenished. Now here's the little crayon sharpener. I'm not sure what I need to do there. Or maybe we won't even keep that. In the evening, everybody's got to have a blanket to cuddle. So everybody's got blankets, and we have a stack of blankets that everybody's enjoying. Especially if they go out to the fire pit, the little fire pit. They go out there to tell stories and just build a little fire. They love to do that. Our little grandkids do. And so they always want to take a blanket out there. I try to keep something over this chair because the kids, they just stay in this chair. This is where they sit. This is an old 1930s club chair. It's a pretty old chair. It's been reupholstered, but the reupholstery is taking a beating. I've got dishes I have to wash. I've got to clean out these pods. Donald's got a Keurig, and of course I cannot throw away pods. That would not be feasible, so he uses these reusable ones. So I've got to clean those and get those ready for the next use. So it'll take a minute. I've got this pot soaking. I made broccoli and cheese soup last night. It was really good. It was a very basic recipe, and I've had this pot soaking all night. So I'm going to go ahead and get it scrubbed clean. soaking it like that looks messy, but it really helps everything come clean the next day if you can't get to it that night. I was just worn out last night. It was a busy night, so I didn't get to everything that I wanted to get to. I didn't get to last night's cleanup, so I'm going to have to tackle that today. And this is usually always where I start in the mornings. If I hadn't got this done, now I love to have a clean kitchen, so I try to do it every night before I go to bed. I try to always wash these dishes, make sure everything is clean. That would be the ideal thing for me every night. But I don't always get to that, so if I have a day where I don't get to it, then of course, that's usually the thing I hit first thing in the morning. Got this pot scrubbed pretty clean. I'm going to go ahead and rinse it out. And I'll probably be using this pot again tonight. Probably whatever I decide to make for supper tonight, I'll be using this pot again. And of course, then I have the little reusable Keurig cups I have to wash. But it's worth it. It's worth it to me to use the reusable ones. And I keep them right here on top of his coffee pot so they're easy for him to find. In this little container that blends in with the coffee pot. And then they're always ready whenever he needs them to make his coffee. I don't use these. If I make coffee, I go ahead and make a whole pot. And I got a gold reusable coffee filter in here. So that's what I use. If I use the coffee maker, I'll use this side. But he likes an individual cup in the morning. So he usually makes his coffee right here in his to-go cup. Now I have to empty this thing. I cannot stand for it to be full. I have to keep it empty. The strainer that keeps everything from going down the drain. I still have not got to decorate. I've you know, wanted to decorate a little bit. Maybe I'll get to tear that down and do it before Christmas. But I am not sure if that's how that's going to work or not. It seems like I am staying really busy and that I'm not having much time to get done what I need to get done. And that's not uncommon for this time of the year. I've noticed at this time of the year. That's how it usually gets. It's been good soup weather though. I've been making some kind of soup at least 2 days a week. I do have a little bit of leftover soup in the fridge that I can heat up tonight with whatever I decide to make tonight. I'm not sure what we'll have tonight. Maybe some sandwiches, maybe hot sandwiches to go with soup. That would be good. Oh, that's good on a fall night. I want to make a what we eat in a week video, but meal times are so hectic that I'm just trying to pump it out and get it out. I hadn't had time to video. It takes a little time to video. Makes things last, you know, you have to have more time because you have to stop, move your camera and do things. So I don't know if I'll, how soon I'll be able to get that worked in. I really would like to do Vlogmas, where you make a video every day in the month of October. I mean, in the month of December. But I'm not even sure at this rate if I could do that. But I may attempt Vlogmas because I just love to watch those Vlogmas videos. Now this is really hot water. My water is pretty hot. That's one thing we had to do, was heat up our water when I was growing up to wash dishes. And you know, usually when you get it boiling off the stove, it's a lot hotter than it is just coming out of a hot water heater. Well, I got a few things done. I got some blankets folded up and got some dishes washed. Enjoyed the morning fall, what's left of it this year, and I've got a lot more to do. I'll be working all day, even when the kids get here. And I can't take you with me all day long because it would be a very long video and it'd probably be really boring. But I thank you for joining me today and let me just share my morning with you. You know, it's good to have you here. Glad you met me here. You know you're welcome. If you're new here, you're welcome. And if you've been around for a while, welcome back. I'm Donna, and this is just a show that's lifestyle, budget-friendly, home and garden. So anything to do with those is usually what I have on my channel. I have somehow, in some way, shape, or form, all of those things. I am a grandmother of 6 grandchildren that I keep on a regular basis. I'm an active grandparent. I so enjoy them. And they're here a lot of the time. And but there's a lot of other things that I work in as well. So if you're interested in that kind of lifestyle, be sure to subscribe and comment if you've got something to say. I enjoyed sharing this with you today, and like always, until next time.